Hey, greetings everybody. We're looking at the front end of a Massey Ferguson GC2300 subcompact tractor. And what I wanted to show you today was how I basically put some new headlights onto this. It does come with built-in headlights, but they are not very effective in my opinion. They're not as bright as I like them to be. So what I did was mounted these two 4.75 inch Hella 12 volt halogen lights on the front. And it makes a big difference. It's pretty easy to do. First of all, you need the lights. They're going today for less than $10 delivered Amazon Prime. And I also saw that Harbor Freight has some similar lights for sub $10 price range. But really any 12 volt halogen exterior vehicle light should work just fine for you. And they come with a mounting bracket and a little bolt. So all you have to do is drill a hole through your front brush guard, and I found this to be the best place to put it. I initially thought about putting the lights up on top here, but then I thought that they'd be getting banged around and probably broken off, so this gives a little bit of protection on the sides. They're still exposed in the front, but I've had these on for 2 years, and there's really been no damage to them. Occasionally the one gets bent back a little bit, pushed back, and you just have to readjust it. In any case, just find the proper size drill bit for whatever hardware your light comes with and drill a hole down through the center. Next thing you have to do is wire these, and I'll show you a little bit closer how I did that here. Each light has a single lead coming out of the back of the light, and that's your positive. It takes the ground just off of your bracket here. So what I did is I have a bunch of electrical connectors in a kit, and I just used some electrical connectors to mount these. I took the two positive wires here, you can see these brown ones on this end, and put it into a single blade. And then I just took you can see this little orange cord is essentially a remnants of an old 14 gauge extension cord that I had in my spare wire box, and I cut off an appropriate length. And I tried to use black for positive in this case, and then of course green for ground. And the green ground just essentially goes onto the bottom. I have a little loop connector here, and it goes onto the nut that holds this one light on. That'll give you your ground. I'll go ahead and show you how you connect this inside the tractor with minimal effort. Hey, just quick, I want to give you a little rear view of this. You can see here, this red wire is the positive lead coming out of the back of the light. I dropped the brush guard down to the ground just to show you what the back view looks like. Here you can see the positive leads coming out of the back of each light. And they have this all cable tied to the brush guard. You can see both positives going to this one blade connector, and then there's another female which connects to this I guess it's just a piece of wire I got from an old 14 gauge extension wire. And then the ground just goes right on to the bottom end of this bolt holding one of the lights on, and it'll give you ground through the brush guard here. Then just use some cable ties to screw everything tight, because you don't want it flopping around getting things caught in here. And just leave a little bit of a loose wire here, so when you move the brush guard, there's enough excess. And then I'll go inside of your engine compartment, and I'll show you in the engine compartment how you hook this up. Here, looking inside the engine compartment on the hood, this is where the stock factory lights mounted. They just screw in there. It's like an 1/8 turn. And I took those out, and it was nice enough for the manufacturer. There's basically a plug here. They would just plug into the wiring on the chassis, so there's no need to cut any wires and do any stripping. And all I did was, I took some connectors out of my little electric connectors pack. They're basically blade connectors. They'll slide right into that female connector that comes with the tractor. One problem I discovered after the fact was Massey used, or Iseki, whoever manufactured the tractor, reversed the polarity from what I just assumed. In their case, they're using black for ground, so you see their black goes to my green, and they're using green for the hot. The only problem with this situation is, if this were to go be sold to somebody else or go into the service bay, when a mechanic, if he took this apart, put it back together later, he might reverse those trying to match the colors up. So probably one day here I need to go ahead and reverse that polarity to make sure green matches green and black matches black. Alright, but that's really all there is to it. You can usually buy these electrical connector packs at Radio Shack, or I found mine at Harbor Freight. And get your lights at Harbor Freight or on Amazon.com, and it's probably about an hour job. But you'll be amazed at the difference in the light that you get. Hey, here's the original light assembly that came out of this tractor. You just pull it out of these two sockets there, and this is the connector that goes on. Now, as I showed you, my wiring was reversed from theirs because I just used a convention that we use in AC in the house, where your black is your hot, your white is your return, and of course your green is your ground. But in this case, they have it different here, so probably what I want to do is I didn't want to take and cut this wire off originally, because in case I wanted to put this back on and my experiment didn't work too well. But now that I'm happy with those lights, I think I'll just take and snip this wire off and put two connectors to match my connectors coming from the light, and then you'll be able to plug this onto the factory connector. That way, if anybody else ever gets a hold of this machine or it goes into the shop and they disconnect it, when they put it back together, there won't be any probability of having the wires cross and short-circuiting the whole thing. Alright, just want to show that to you.
Hey, I just wanted to show you this light here. This is the actual light that I'm using on my tractor. Not saying that it's what you have to use, but just to give you an idea. I just want to get something that has a durable housing. This is supposed to be all rubber. However, I did note when I was making this video that there is some deterioration going on this already. And it looks like I purchased this back in 2012, so it's been about 2 years. In any case, just one possibility for your project.